All right, welcome back to What's Your Next. We're back again to continue on discussing questions to ask franchisees during your due diligence phase. We've been asking a lot of questions in a lot of different categories prior to this. Check out our previous episodes on this topic. Today, we're going to be covering some questions to ask regarding relationships.
Welcome to What's Your Next. This is the go-to podcast for aspiring business owners who want to get to the next level, escape the rat race, and give their middle finger to the corporate 9-to-5. If you want financial freedom, work-life balance, and the business of your dreams, you're in the right place. Dave and Stacy Riska, husband-wife franchising duo, openly share their successes, failures, and lessons learned in franchising, business ownership, and working with your spouse.
And we got 3 questions today. Like before, I'm going to ask Stacy. She's going to answer from our background and also why the question she believes is so important. So, question number 1 on relationships. What do you like most, least about the your franchise relationship? So this is, what do you like most or least about your relationship with your franchise?
Okay, so I hem and haw because it's really going to depend at what phase you ask that question. So if Dave, a prospective franchisee, is asking me when I'm just a newer franchisee, my answer would be, I love the support and they're always there to help me and support me. If I'm answering that question now, 16 years into the business, I would have, a much different answer. And therefore, that's why you want to understand the person that you're talking to. How long have they been in the business? And again, we keep saying this, but it's worth repeating. Are they a top, a mid, or a bottom level performer? Because I think that really factors into it.
Right. And that goes into, interviewing enough franchisees that are at different lengths of time in the franchise. New, mid, been there 16 years. You're going to get different answers. Question number 2. Do you feel you have a positive rapport with your franchisor and your fellow franchisees?
My answer would be yes. Yes. 16 years later, I can send an email. I just did yesterday, right? Send an email to my franchisor when I have a question and they respond immediately. That it makes me feel good, right? Because I know I can get the answers that I need. From a franchisee perspective, I love that, we have our own little our Facebook group. You can go on, ask questions, post a challenge, post a success. People really are there supporting each other. Now, from the broad perspective, in franchising in general, I think that's a key benefit of a franchise is the whole ecosystem. You're not, when you're starting a business from scratch, you're one, and one is the loneliest number. Who do you go to when you need to run an idea by somebody? Who's going to tell you not to do it that way? Who's there to pat you on the back when you have a success? Franchising, you have a whole ecosystem. The franchisor wants you to be successful. Other franchisees want you to be successful. Your suppliers and your vendors want you to be successful. And a rising tide lifts all boats.
Right. So I'll just end it like this. There's a book called Think and Grow Rich. And I really think Napoleon Hill, who wrote the book, if he were alive today, would be talking about franchising as a key to be successful. Because in Think and Grow Rich, it's all about a mastermind. It's all about having a group. It's all about collaboration. It's all about coming together and working together as a team. And I think the franchise system as a whole, not even just in our franchise, really helps perpetuate that thought process. And I agree with Stacy. I don't know that we had the best relationship with our franchisor all the time. There's always friction there just because they're the franchisor and I hate paying them fees, all right? It is what it is. The relationship with the franchisees was fantastic. I mean, we could reach out. We all pat each other back. We were sharing. We'd share equipment. We'd share supplies, whatever you could dig into this group and get what you needed. And that's what you're buying into when you're looking at a franchise. So really great question. Final question for today. Does the franchisor sincerely care about your success? Can you provide an example?
Yeah. So if you're asking me as a prospective candidate, in our coffee smoothie business, I would say yes, the franchisor definitely cares about our success. Because, again, there's going to be bumps and bruises. And we had some pretty big bumps that we had encountered. Watch a previous episode to hear more about it. But you know what? The franchisor flew out, took us out to dinner, was willing to listen. Now, granted, we may not have liked the answer, but there was communication. And I think that's the most important thing. Is there going to be open dialogue and open communication with the franchisor? Right? And I would also say other franchisees. I mean, I'm grateful enough to know that at least the franchises that we recommend, there is a very cohesive network and franchisees all work together. I've heard, rumblings in other franchises that may not be the case. And sometimes that's just because they're too focused on just selling more units, and then they don't really open them up or operate them to the standards. But we don't recommend those brands.
Right. Be careful on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Really be careful on this one. And this is where turning to someone like us to help you evaluate franchises is really important. There's 4,000 of them out there today. The network we work in, they do a lot of due diligence just to allow the quality of franchises that we can offer to you into our network. So they're actually helping us in this area and looking for franchises that really are some of the best out there. And if you're going to be the best, your franchisees have to be successessful. I mean, look at McDonald's. I mean, it's all about that. If that business owners of McDonald's weren't successful all these years, do you think they'd be as successful as they've been? So don't skip this question, really important question. And if you'd like to get a copy of the questions that we're asking, questions to ask franchisees, and the link below, and we will catch you again on the next episode.